This is my answer to question 7. When looking back at our preliminary task, it is evident how far as a group we have all come. In our preliminary task, we stuck to the basic instructions of what we had to do, using basic shots and basic acting. Our final product is far better and of a much higher quality than when we first started filming our preliminary task. The basic shots in which we included consisted of the 180-degree rule, shot reverse shot and match reduction, and we did not think to include any other shots in order to make this task more exciting. This is one of the reasons why our preliminary task is not very entertaining to watch. Moreover, in our final piece for the absence, we incorporated a variety of shots including worm's eye view, wide shots, long shots, close-ups and many more. We decided to use the 180-degree rule which we learnt in the preliminary task of the trees in order to show that Nicole was trapped and surrounded by the woods. The effect we were trying to create by using this was suspense and tension build-up in the audience, as this is typical of a thriller film. As for our editing skills, these were also very poor in our preliminary task. We used basic transitions and did not think to use effects as we edited our preliminary task on iMovie, which is nowhere near as detailed as Final Cut Pro, the software in which we decided to edit our opening scene of the absence with. Final Cut Pro offered a larger variety of transitions, effects and music and much more, so that we could get the best possible results for our film, and we took full advantage of this. In our final piece, we decided to include a variety of different effects to make our film seem more creepy and solemn. We decided to stick to lower key lighting effects to portray the genre of the film, but as by using these effects, specific scenes of the film stood out more so than others. We decided to use tracking and panning shots throughout the woods scenes to make out that the antagonist was chasing the protagonist, and this built up a lot more tension and made the opening scene to our film a lot more exciting. From looking at the difference in mise-en-scène that we included in our preliminary task to our final piece of our film, we can see that we have improved on this skill greatly. In our preliminary task, all we were concerned about was making sure that we completed all of the shots to a decent standard and did not think to focus on the mise-en-scène elements in order to make this task appear to be more real. However, in the absence, through completing textual analysis on mise-en-scène in other films, we realised how important this element was to include in our film in order to get the best possible results. We focused largely on hair and makeup, props and costumes, and the setting so that we could get the ideas which we originally thought of through to the audience as best as possible. In our preliminary task, we did not think to include any type of non-diegetic music. We decided to only use a script and dialogue, which is a form of diegetic sound. This was a large factor which we decided to change in order to make the actual finished piece more interesting. We used two different types of sound consisting of diegetic and non-diegetic. The majority of the sound, however, was non-diegetic, as we felt this was the best option considering we were only producing an opening scene. The only diegetic sound which we used was the voice of Nicole screaming and shouting Olivia. The rest of the sound was non-diegetic, and this consisted of the voice-over and the royalty-free soundtrack in which we found on YouTube. This made the whole opening scene more interesting and the soundtrack created a lot more tension throughout. Some parts were amplified to emphasise the tension, for example when Nicole finds Olivia. As seen in our preliminary task, we decided to only stick to one location. We also decided to do this in the final piece for our opening scene, as we found by sticking to the location being the woods, it was the best possible option for our film, as this is a typical location for a thriller genre film to be shot. However, in our preliminary task, we were very limited as to where we could film, therefore meaning that our location did not exactly fit with our narrative, and this evidently had an effect on the quality of the preliminary task. We found that location is actually a huge contributing factor in terms of making our final product successful. Overall, I feel that it is very clear as to how far we have come as a group from all aspects of the preliminary task in comparison to our final piece. It is evident that we have improved on many skills that are made up to create a successful film. I feel that by comparing these two tasks, it really shows that we tried a lot harder for the opening scene of the absence. We took this a lot more seriously than the preliminary task, and in conclusion, the outcome shows our effort.